Okay, these are video notes for basic axe level 1. We will be going over basic swings, how to hold the axe before we go over basic swings, a way to get used to using the basic swings while also moving through space other than standing still, and then finally I will be going over the basic axe form that I created so that we can practice most of those basic swings in one session with a form. All right, so with the axe, first thing, since we do a Korean martial art, the axe in Korean is doki. If you look it up, it's D-O-K-K-I, pronounced doki. So when we're working with the axe, every once in a while, especially with the form we're going to learn, I named Doki Young Ilbu for axe form 1. When we grip the axe, we want to grip the axe below, if you split it, the handle into halves, we want to be below the top half. So with this axe, it has those fun little kanji that say axe gang on it. I'm gripping right above that so that when I have to go two-handed, there's space where I can use the back of the handle for different things, such as hooking and gripping and grasping for that. All right, so when we pick up any new thing, any new weapon, right, I find a way to connect the new thing with something I already know. So new connected to old, and it helps assimilate the learning of that new thing a lot easier than going and instantly doing something that's unfamiliar to me. So one thing that we should be familiar with is our 12 angles of attack. And so the first thing that I did when I picked up this axe was to go over the 12 angles of attack. So that will be the first thing that you will do to familiarize yourself with handling this weapon. So the angles of attack are as follows. We have 1 and 2, where we're going to make an X from top to bottom. So we have 1 and 2. As you're practicing, make sure you make the big motions like I am. 3 and 4 are side-to-side motions. 3 and 4. Also, with all of these, pay attention to where the blade is. Can I smack somebody with this axe sideways with the flat of the flat of the head? Absolutely. Will it be as effective as hitting him with the blade? No, it will not. So, let's go back to the beginning. We have 1 and 2, we're making an X from top to bottom. We have 3 and 4, where we're going to side. You notice the hip motion. 5, 6, and 7 are thrusts, right? So I'm going to go straight in for 5, 6, I'm at the top, 7, I'm at the other side. So imagine just poking the 2 eyes. 8, I'm going to make a circle. For 8, bring the head of the axe and just bring it around this way. So we're making this big circular motion. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, I'm making this circular motion. 9 and 10, I'm going to make an X from bottom to top. 9, 10, those are angles. 11, I'm going straight up the middle, and then 12, I'm coming straight down. So then the full sequence is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. So if you're in class here with me, I would have you do that at least 3 times on your dominant side, at least 3 times with your non-dominant side, and then 3 times with 2 hands. Two-handed grip, we're just going to place the other hand on the bottom of the handle. So if I'm doing the two-handed grip 12 cut sequence, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to big upswing for 11, and 12 is straight down. All right. So I would have you practice those a number of times to get used to that basic slicing pattern, and then hopefully, like I did, you will arrive that certain attacking patterns or certain attacking angles work better than others. Here are the conclusions that I came up with. This is a gravity-assisted weapon. Sword and a stick or a staff are pretty balanced throughout. The amount of effort you put into it will result in a pretty similar strike for all of them, right? So some downward motions are going to be easier, but upward for sword and knife and staff and stick aren't as challenging as swinging the axe up, right? The most beneficial way to use the axe as a weapon or even as a tool is to come down, right? If you're chopping wood, you're not coming up. We're not going. So what I've arrived at is the basic attack angles that we're going to use for the axe. So that would be the next stage. So the next stage is to hone in on those basic attack handles for solely the axe. And the ones that I came up with are your top to bottom ones. So your 1 and 2, your big X. 3 and 4 aren't too bad because I can put that body into it like we're supposed to for all we're striking anyway. So my 3 and 4, my side to side swipes, big body assisted, and 3 and 4 can also be height, head high. Okay, so it's the angle that matches the number, not so much the location. So I can do a 3 to the ribs, I can do a 3 to the side of the head, I can go down and do a 3 to the leg. All right. So 1 and 2, fairly obvious. 3 and 4, we are going to use the circular 8 when we do partner drills. All right. As a preview, this is going to be a disarm. So when you make your 8, make it a big circle. So when you're training on your own, you'll be able to utilize that circle for the disarm when you have a partner. And then the final one that is the most common one is the downward 12. Obvious reasons, right? What's the first thing you think of when you're going to use an axe, whether it's for defense purposes or chopping wood? It's the downward strike. So then we come up with the more refined sequence for this weapon. We have our X from top to bottom, our side to sides, we have a circle, and then we have a downward. So that one is going to encourage us to do these, what I call flourishes, all right, or flicks. So as you're now practicing and getting more comfortable with it, allow yourself, for lack of a better word, to play with the weapon so that your weapon becomes an extension of you, just like any other weapon we have. So you'll add these little flicks every once in a while, right, or flourishes over the head to reposition the axe. And this will become quite apparent when we start using it for partner drills. All right, so then now the sequence is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to come around for that circle and then come back around for the downward strike for 12. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, circle, 12. Or you can do 12 this way. And experiment. Which one works better for you? Which one feels better for you? And then if you were in class with me, I would make you use both hands. So dominant side, non-dominant side, and then two-handed grip. So if I was doing my non-dominant side, there's my X's, there's my side to side, I can do my circle, and I can do my 12. And then I would do it two hands, X's, side to side, there's the circle, and then there's the 12. So we have a striking pattern that is a little bit more logical than using all 12 because half of them are working against gravity. Can I do them in a pinch? Absolutely. Should I have an idea that I know I can do those if I need to or if an opportunity presents itself? Absolutely. but our major ones are going to be these gravity assisted ones. Okay, so this is when you would take time to practice this, just the striking pattern on your own, and this is an in-place drill just to get you comfortable with handling the weapon. Right? I wasn't able to flip and spin and do these fun things right off the bat. I went through this process of working my angles of attack until I was comfortable with the weight and the balance and how the weapon reacts to the different ways I move. So then the next stage in learning this new weapon, or any new weapon, is I would, again, link it to something else that I already know. So I already know certain forms that are open-handed forms. I also know weapons forms. So rather than trying to adapt a weapon to move like another weapon, I picked open hand forms. All right. We're moving our body in similar ways, whether we have a weapon in our hand or no weapon in our hand. There's only so many. Those angles of attack we did, those 12 angles, are valid for the hands. I can chop, I can slice, or palm strike, or hammer fist, right? I have punches, I have ridge hand strikes, eye gouges, like these are the same angles. I can come upwards, I have an uppercut, right? I can come straight up the middle, I can come straight down. Whether the weapon is in my hand or not, these motions are the same. So we're gonna take these motions, put the weapon in our hand, and do a form. The easiest one to start with is one that a lot of us know, is Segiyoung Ilbu. So every time I do a low block, I'm going to do either my 1 or 2 cut, right, depending on the angle as I step. Right? So that would look like this. I would start in my chumbi with the axe in my left hand. Left, slice across, I'm going to step through, chamber and punch. As I bring the hand across, slice through, chamber and punch. Look down the middle. All right, we're going to add a little extra chopping in here. So we're going to chop, kick, chop, kick, chop, kick. Transition, turn. I'm slicing. Punch, transition. There's another angled cut. Punch. I'm down the middle of my form again. Chop, kick, chop, kick, chop, kick. Grabbing the axe, turn, chop, punch, slash, punch, and back. Very basic form that most of us have done a number of times. I'm only adding one element with the axe so that it doesn't make it too overwhelming as I'm adding this new thing into something I already know. So I'm only really using the low block as my angled cut, and then I'm doing an extra chop in between each kick. Now, the cool thing about this is, one thing I discovered is, one of the things I'm doing as an instructor is, when we do our blocks, reminding students to cross their arms. When we're using the axe for our sege form, it forces me to cover because I'm transitioning in between each block. So now, in addition to learning how to use the new weapon, you're enhancing that thing you know. We're enhancing our low block because now I'm being forced to cover to use this. And then hopefully with practice between the two of them, one continues to enhance the other. We build good habits from using the new thing because now we have to over-exaggerate our movement back as if we were a beginner again and get those reminders of those properness of technique that we're using. So that's Segiyoung Ilbu with the axe. What you should do at this point is be practicing your angles of attack in place, add a little just natural movement, and then do that form with the axe, just as I've done it. And then, before moving on to the next part, and doing Doki Ilbu with me, you should pick any form or a couple forms and run through the form with the axe in your hand, and how would you use the axe in that form? I've done that process. I went through the majority of my forms to see which forms and which strikes and angles work best. It forced me to really think about what I was doing and where I would use this versus where I would use my open hands. So I would encourage you now, before moving on to the next part and doing Doki Ilbu with me, pick a form that's your favorite and run through that one a few times with the axe. Awesome. All right, so now it's time to learn Doki Ilbu. I'm going to do it 3 times on video. I'm going to talk you through it, and then practice is all for you. Okay, so we're going to start here with the axe in my left hand as I did before. Now, the note that I'm going to make right off the bat, stances aren't hugely important here. This is a more natural form, right? I'm not going to get in a big front stance and cut through, but I am going to use the energy of my front stance in the forward motion, all right? So as you see me do this, you're going to see me move with my body weight to have my body weight and the positioning aid in the striking, okay? So when you are moving, and this goes for all of your martial arts training, pay attention to what your body wants to do versus you want your body to do. Do they match? Can I adjust them? Does it make sense, right? If I come through here, I pull the hip back, I'm adding, right, power, right? Would it make sense to come all the way around? Depends on what the goal is to accomplish. So that's why I encourage that practice before we get to this point. You'll start to feel how you naturally react at this thing. This is your fighting movement. All right, so back to Doki Ilbu. We're here. First move, I look to the left. I'm going to do 2 angled cuts. 1, 2. I'm making an X. I'm going to step through and front kick. Transition the axe to the other hand. Over the shoulder, I'm making my X again. Front kick. Down the center, grip the axe with the left hand. Angled cut, big recovery, downward cut. Transition as you step, hip swing sideways, flip it, back the other way. Big flourish as you grab with the other hand, step down, key up here, downward cut. Keep the axe in the left hand as you turn. You've got your X. We're going to kick, grip, come through, make your X, kick, grip with the left, down the center, angled cut, flourish, down. Grip at the right, across once, flip it, across twice, grab with 2 hands, down, turn, make your X, kick, transition, make your X, kick, and you're done. And that's Doki Ilbu. All right, second time, I'm just going to count numbers as I do the move. So first time I explained what I was doing in each one. This next time, I'm going to count for each movement so we get and establish some sort of count. And then the third and final time, I'm going to do the form at pace without counting, adding the key ops where they belong. All right. Doki Ilbu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and borrow. Okay, so that's the second time by the count. Third and final time, no count. I'm just going to add the key-ups as necessary. Doki Young Ilbu. This will conclude the solo training portion of Axe Basic Level 1. All right, these are going to be the video notes for the partner drills for Basic Axe Level 1. Here we go. So the first set of defenses is against a outside attack or a one strike from across. So I have my assistant Dylan who's going to be striking me so that I can demonstrate how to do the different add-ons and the defenses for this strike. So Dylan's going to take that big outside slash. I'm going to step in. I'm going to take the arm, recover, angled strike number 2 down onto the neck. One more time, we're going to turn on this angle, big slash from Dylan. I'm in, take the arm, recover, angled strike on the neck. I'm going to do the same thing to Dylan. He's going to do the same thing. So outside strike, strikes, takes my neck. All right, so that's the first one we're going to do. The next one, same attack, outside attack. Go ahead, attack me. I'm coming down, taking the arm, big recovery this time, striking the other side of the neck with the one strike. So for a different angle, I'm going to attack Dylan now. This way, he takes the arm, big recovery, right down onto the other side of my neck. Next one, same attack. He's in an attack. I'm going to here, extra big recover, straight down between the eyes. Right? So it's 1. If you want to add the little flip, 2 this way. So I'll attack Dylan here, flip right down onto my head. The next one, this will be the last one for this, is he's going to attack with the outside slash. I'm going to here. Now, if I chop the arm, great. If I don't, I can come in with the handle. But this time I'm going to hook it with the head of the axe as I knee strike to the body, release, step back, and then strike straight down with the power strike. And so Dylan will do the same thing. I outside slash. He stops my arm, pulls in, knee strike, release, and then clobbers my brains with the axe. We love graphic details. All right, so set of attacks is going to be that big outside one attack again. All right, so the defense for these is going to be to bring your axe hand, your holding hand, elbow high. The head of the axe is down. So we've used this term umbrella They use this in Filipino stick fighting and such to do the blocks. So when we step in, we're going to bring the axe upside down using the handle to block. From here, we're going to do a big circular motion. There's our 8. First attack, counterattack, is going to be to bring the axe up and strike down with that 12. So one more time from me, Dylan comes and slashes. I do my umbrella, bring it around. When I bring it around, I'm catching with the other hand. This comes up, the axe comes up, striking down and splitting the head. So Dylan will do the same thing. I'm going to attack him. He does his umbrella, brings it around, and then clobbers me. One more time from Dylan. Outside strike, brings it around, and he clobbers me. Cool. Next one, same attack. I'm going to be here. I'm going to bring it around. As I bring it around, I'm going to bring the axe in nice and tight to my body, turn out, and 3 strike to the ribs. All right, so we're going to use that strike to the ribs this time because we open it up. So I'm coming here. There's my umbrella with my deflection. Strike to the ribs. Dylan's going to do the same thing. I come around. He umbrellas, brings it around. Right? Strikes to the other side. Both sides work. Same thing. The idea is the angle. Good. So he uses the other angle. The point in the beginning of the lesson with the solo drills was not so much what the name of it is how we're hitting. The angle of attack is the important part. So awesome. So that's the next one. We're going to disarm our opponent. So Dylan's going to come around. I'm going to do my umbrella move, bring it around this way. As I step in closer, roll out using the leverage from my body, and then I can take his head with a 3 on the way out or a 12, depending on what position I'm in. So one more time, nice and slow for me. There's my umbrella move. Come around, brings it to the other hand, pop out, release, strike. Dylan's turn. I'm around this way. He does his umbrella, rolls out, strikes, takes my head. Gives me my axe back. Don't ever give the weapon back to the deceased. All right, again, here, around, he releases, does the strike. Awesome job. All right, for the next one, he's gonna come around. I'm gonna do my umbrella move. With this one, I'm gonna check or grab my opponent's axe and then hit them with the butt of the axe. So then when I've got the fold, I'm going to release out and then 12 strike. So I've got that bend in the body because I hit him in the solar plexus with the butt of the axe. So I'm going to block, check, strike, strike. So Dylan will do the same thing. He's going to block, check, strike, and then strike. Good. One more time. He does the umbrella, straighten, and then strike. Good. All right, so our last one from this attack. Same attack. I'm going to umbrella as I step in. Check the hand, strike with the butt of the axe. This time I'm going to hook with the head of the axe, step back and pull. This gets me to a takedown, and then I'm going to take the body with, again, that downward 12 strike. So one more time, I do my block, loosen him up with the strike, hook his heel, he drops to the floor, smash. Dylan's turn. Dylan, here it comes. He's going to do his block. Hit, hook underneath, pull, and then he's got me. Don't want to die for real there, Dylan. All right, one more time for you. Here I go. He's here. pops me with the butt of the axe, pulls out my leg, I fall, gone. Okay, all right. So those are now a defense attack with using the umbrella guard and then the follow-throughs that we can do after that. Now, I should have said this at the last section. Practice those, make some of your own up. Same with this one. Practice from the umbrella. Pay attention to where your axe ends up and what strikes you can utilize at the end of each movement and block. All right. The next attack is going to be similar. Instead of coming from the side, we're going to come straight down. All right. We have our big, oh, here we go. Right down on the top. So Dylan's going to come right down on my head, and I'm going to do like a high block like we would with the staff. First one, we're going to bring it around, much like from the last attack. Here I am, smash. There's that counter attack. So he's up, block my head, expose his head, take his head. Do the same thing to Dylan, coming through, he blocks his head, takes it away, and smash. That big circle. Here we go again. Here, pull it that way, and then smash. Good. All right. So similar attacks. So it's the same thing as we did before with the release. He comes down to attack my head. I'm going to block, bring it around, pivot out, and then I can hit here, and then I have a dual wielding situation if I need be. So one more time on that one. I'm high blocking up, bringing it around, stepping in, releasing, and then taking whatever strike is available to me as I come out. Dylan's going to try the same thing. Big overhead strike. He does his high block, pulls it to the side with the axe. Good. Pulls it out. There's my life flashing before my eyes. One more time, Dylan. Dylan's down. Boom. Pulls it out. Pop. And I'm gone. I'm looking at my fate. All right. So similar again. He does the overhead strike. This will be the final one for this. I'm going to bring it around. I can either come around sideways or I can come around sideways this way. So either strike is up to you. I'm here. This way I can flourish one, or I can recover this way. Either way, notice the hip turn to get the axe to do what I want it to. So if I attack Dylan the same way, let's see which one he chooses. Just the arms, and he takes one side of the head. Attack again. He's going to go through, and he's going to try the other one. Awesome. So those are attacks from overhead. Pause. The next set of attacks are going to be defending against we can call that a two angle, right? So I'm coming across from the in to out. So with this one, it's even more important that we move as we go, because I'm not using the axe or my arms to block the attack. I'm actually getting out of the way. So when Dylan goes to make his strike, I'm getting behind him. In this first one, I'm going to side kick and then strike with the axe as I go through. All right. With this one, I'm going to try to get a little less behind him. So with this one, I just want to get around him, pop, pop. So the idea is I buckle the knee, I get that little head drop, and then I hit him as he drops into the axe. So Dylan's going to try the same one. I'm going to come across, he checks, kicks the knee, gets my head exposed, and then clobbers me. One more time. Here, clobbers, there's the head strike. Very good. All right. The next one after that, a little bit similar. This time we're going to get completely behind the back. Dylan makes that big strike. I'm going to scoot behind him, buckle his knee from behind. If I drop him to the floor, excellent. Bam. Chop. I have a feeling we chopped Dylan off camera. That's okay. We'll do it a little bit more standing for the second one, and then Dylan can drop me and chop me past off camera. So if I don't just keep him standing, all he wants is that little buckle off balance, and I can clobber him on the top of the head if necessary as well. All right. Sometimes it's just fun to throw your opponent on the floor. All right. So Dylan gets to do the same thing. I make the big, as I chop, he takes my leg out, drops me, and there's an axe waiting to split my skull. One more time, just because that was fun. Boom, pop, nice kick, awesome job, very good takedown, sir. All right. The next one, this will be the last one for this set, is we're gonna use the axe to choke our opponent. So when he comes towards me, I'm gonna slip behind and I'm gonna bring the head of the axe here, right? Maybe we're in the Kung Fu movie and he's the leader and I need some space to get out of the building and I've got a hold of him now and maybe his buddies are just kept at bay as I use him as a shield. Okay. One more time. Here he comes. Whoosh! Got him. And Dylan's smiling face is about getting ready to get taken away. So now Dylan's gonna do the same thing to me. I'm here, he gets behind me as quick as he can. Oh, there it is. And I'm gone. Oh! And he added a knee strike for extra pain, which is cool because no one said using the axe against somebody else using the axe was necessarily legal. It's just meant to be fun. Don't worry about any of the, is this okay to do? It's a fun weapon. I don't know anybody that carries a sword out anymore either, but it's still fun to use. And how would you utilize this weapon in different situations? All right, so we have one more that we're going to practice, and that's an overhead strike with maybe I don't have an axe. All right, so maybe I've said during the seminar, I said when I introduced this that my idea came from Kung Fu movies, and maybe I didn't start out with the axe. Maybe I got jumped by the gang, right? So Dylan comes in screaming, I'm gonna get behind him, grab his axe, use him to control, a little bear hug, same situation. If he gets a little bit too rowdy, I can work the axe off of him and then take him out and then fight my way out of the situation. All right, one more time, we'll go slower. Then I'll let Dylan do it. So the idea is it's a nice slow strike. I'm coming this way. Once I have his arm under control, I'm gonna pull it in real fast. And I got him. Because he's gonna want his axe back. So I wanna make sure that I've got him. Lost my mic, everybody fell on the floor. All right, so now I'm gonna attack Dylan. Dylan's gonna do the same thing. Here I come, ha 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 ha. Round, he's got me, I'm stuck. The axe is used, kicks my leg out, makes sure I can't get balance. He's trying to chuck me onto the floor. He can just let go, push me, and hack me as I go. All right, so those are the partner drills I came up with. These are just a starting point. So as you're getting comfortable with these drills, start thinking about your own. The first part of this whole thing was solo practice so that you could familiarize yourself with the axe. How does it move? How does it work? How does it react to the way you step and swing it? What parts of the body can I hit? How does, what does it do to that part of the body when I hit it? Moving through the solo drills, you should find certain strikes you like, and then when you're working with a partner, it'll add a little bit extra complication to maybe getting to certain strikes like that, depending on how they move. So practice your solo drills, practice your partner drills, and be creative. Don't be stuck on just doing what I've given you today. This is just a jumping point for your further training. Awesome. Thank you for watching.